So I love this quote. I can't remember who exactly said it, but they said, attention is a limited resource. So pay attention to what you pay attention to. It's great, isn't it? Pay attention to what you pay attention to. Attention is a limited resource. That's profound. My daughter Skylar got in the car the other day after school, and unprompted, she just started telling me all about her day. This is why I love to pick my kids up from school. She started talking about all the things I was saying, but here's the problem. I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening at all. I was off in my own thoughts. I was problem solving things on my to-do list, the things that actually needed problem solving right there in that moment. I was working through all the timings of how the rest of our day was going to go. How was I going to drop her off, hit this meeting, pick up these things from the grocery store? I was processing through some of the emotions I had had from my day. I was dreaming of my vacation. I was thinking of all these things over here. And then Skylar noticed that I wasn't paying attention to her. She did. And she looked at me and she said the thing that Ryan, her dad, and I always say to her when she's not paying attention to us. Don't you love when they throw the things that you do back at you? Skylar looked at me and she said, Bueller. Bueller, like from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's what we say to our kids when they're not paying attention to us. And I looked at her and the Bueller kind of took me out of my own self-thinking trance. And I looked at her and I said, oh, sweetheart, I'm so sorry. She said, I do it too, you know. I just laughed. But if you ask me what my priorities are in this world, I would be very quick to tell you that God and my family, that those are the top two priorities. But in that moment, I wasn't representing either of that. I wasn't paying attention to what got my attention. If you think about it, whatever gets our attention is our priority. Whether it's your daughter or your debt or your doubts, attention is the most valuable resource that we have. And for most of us, I think that we're not honestly intentional about what gets our attention, what gets our focus or our time or our energy, or even what gets us at the end of the day. Jesus is known for this saying. He says, wherever your treasure is, then your heart will be also, in the book of Matthew. And a lot of times I think we use this verse to talk about money or like stewardship campaigns or raising funds. But really, isn't your attention even more valuable than that? Wherever your treasure is, your heart will be also. Your attention as your treasure. What gets your attention? Is it Netflix, or is it cleaning and making sure your house is clean? Is it following sports, or is it scrolling through social media? What gets your attention? You see, I think that if we're not intentional about what gets our attention, then whatever the next thing that comes up is going to get it. The next distraction, the next need, the next notification, and it ends up making us live this hurried life. So let's take that quote wisdom. Pay attention to what you pay attention to. Now, here's something that I've learned to sort of help me sort of guide and navigate how I spend my time. And it's really simple. I'll share it with you in case that it helps you pay attention to what you pay attention to. I use my calendar on my phone and I put in everything. I put everything that I'm up to. Travel time, if I spend a couple of hours researching like a sermon, I'll add that in. Drive time to my kids' events, I add those into my calendar. I put in my devotion time every day and my exercise time, which is not every day, but whenever I can. I don't make it too specific. I don't like break it down to the 30 minutes or anything like that, but I keep it in there. I'll even add like get ready time and like Netflix with family time. But then after a few days, what I'll look at that calendar and I'll see how my time, how my attention aligns with my values. I want to be mindful and intentional about putting my treasure where my heart is. I want to pay attention to what I pay attention to. You know, when I think it comes to our relationship with God, I think that God wants our attention more than anything else, more than our serving, more than our money, more than anything else. Which is why I think God invites us to come and worship. It's about the attention. It's not about anything else beyond that. So here's what I think the world's biggest treasure is. It's your attention. What's getting yours?